Hi, Wrestling Doctor here for Pro Wrestling Extra. This is number 2 in the video blogs for the Wrestling Doctor's prescription. My webmaster says it should be called a vlog. So I'm learning new things. So this is going to be number 2 in the Wrestling Doctor's prescription vlog. Alright, I want to talk about something that happened recently. Recently, as in a few weeks ago, CM Punk went up into the stands, got pushed around a little bit, and retaliated on a fan. I know it's been talked to death. I know everybody's discussed it. Everybody's written about it. But I want to talk a little bit about what happened, what may have caused this, what may be the responsibility of the promotion, the responsibility of the wrestlers, the responsibility of the fans. Now, when I came up in the business, quite a few years ago, 30-something years ago, we just didn't go into the audience a whole lot. It was just kind of unheard of. Most of the wrestling was confined to the ring. Very seldom went outside of the ring. You did on main events, you did on special matches with some of the wrestlers known to go outside, Terry Funk, Abdullah, you know, on and on, the guys that are known to get outside the ring. What apparently, I believe, happened was, you know, there was a big shakeup in the WWE writer situation. Vince had removed Brian Gewirtz from being the head writer for Raw, and actually both. Everything went through him before it went to Vince. And they had promoted Eric Pakowski, who is somebody that Triple H really likes. So he's been moved up, and when you say Triple H, you also realize his wife has a little to do with it too. Because most everything that's written went through Gewirtz, then went through Stephanie with Triple H probably, and then went to Vince. So with a shake-up in the writing, because of the declining viewership, the declining ratings that they were getting, which is something that the wrestlers have been complaining about. The storylines, the writing in general seemed rather silly, and that's been complained about by the fans for a couple of years now, or maybe even longer than that, because there was a shakeup, because there was somebody in the back that actually talked to Vince about this writing problem and about how everything seems to be boring, silly, childish, written for a 9-year-old. I believe they were going to try something different. You know, Vince was going to come, he was going to get in the ring, he was going to try to get the ratings up, he was going to bring back the chairman of the board. It was announced ahead of time, so someone sat down and went through this match and laid it out. And part of laying out this match was CM Punk going up into the stands. Now, whether this was something CM Punk came up with, something that Vince came up with, your new writer came up with, or a writer came up with, I don't know. We'll probably never know who came up with it. But whoever actually said, we're going to have an exciting match, and it was a great match for a 67-year-old man, and there was CM Punk. That was a great match. You got to give it to Vince. He gives it his all when he's out there. He was 67 years old, and I was a little worried about a 67-year-old holding his own against Punk, but he did pretty good in there. He didn't take over like the owner of the business. He did get his spots. But whoever came up with the idea of CM Punk going into the crowd without prior security in place already, I believe is where the problem happened. I believe that person or those persons are the ones that cause CM Punk having to retaliate against the wrong person. If you actually watch the video in slow motion, you can see the guy behind the guy that got hit reach through and push Punk on the back of his head. Not saying the guy that got hit was totally innocent, because he did take his glasses and put them on and give an elbow to the back of Punk's head. He did do that, and he was warned whether he did it or not to do it, so he got close enough to do that. So he's not innocent. Which problem is, why couldn't Punk have retreated up to the stage, up the ramp into the stage, then he would not have been. What were they trying to do, and what were they thinking to go ahead and put this match on, get people all excited, and then send the heel into the stands surrounded by the fans? Bad choice. A bad choice. So that's just my thought on it. I really think the writers, the person that decided that, is at fault. I certainly hope CM Punk is not retaliated on by management in any way. Guy's a great wrestler. He's a great performer. He's absolutely one of the top promo men in the business. You can tell when he speaks, it's not words written on paper with bullet points given to him. He's actually speaking from his heart, and he believes it when he says it, so it comes through. So that's my thoughts on it. All right, let me move on to something else. Let's move on to the indies. Let me talk about something that happened recently in one of the locker rooms I was in. There was some wrestlers in there that apparently made a bad decision about doing something before the match, and unfortunately it's something that you would not want known that you were doing. It was a bad choice, a very bad choice, and now there may be repercussions for what they chose to do before the matches. What responsibility do you have as a wrestler to the promotion? I think one of the main responsibilities you have as a wrestler today toward the promotion that hires you for however much they pay, whether it's a small promotion or a large promotion, is that you come in prepared to wrestle. I always like to say, you know, in good shape, well rested, ready to go. Get in that locker room, get with your booker or the road agent, whatever, find out about your matches, what they want you to do, get with who you're wrestling. You know, give it 110%, everything you got, you know, in your position on that card. You're going to give it everything you got to make that booker rely on you and understand that you're going to do what he asks you to do. So if you come in and you make a mistake, and like these young gentlemen did, make a mistake, it's going to be really hard for, if this gets around to other bookers, to have confidence in you. You know, once you're in that ring, you're wrestling somebody and you are ultimately offering your body up to wrestle, and you have to have this confidence in who you're wrestling, that they are ready and that they are prepared and that they are at the best of their ability to get out there and wrestle you. And the same has to be said from you. So if you've done something where people may lack confidence that you are at the best of your ability, then you've made a terrible mistake, and you certainly don't want it to get around. So yes, you do have a responsibility to the promotion. And while we're talking about this, and I certainly hope that these young men take this as a lesson and move on and become even better in their craft that they've chosen, because they're actually really good wrestlers. They made a bad choice. A lot of times you look back on what wrestling used to be and you think about how the old timers did it and all the stuff they got away with, but you know, those days are gone. We don't want to bring them back. We don't want to go back to suplexes being a finish move, or you know, or something like that. We can't go back. We're going to go forward. We're going to make wrestling better. We're going to make wrestling more entertaining to the fans, more willing to spend their hard-earned money to come see a wrestling independent show. That's what we're trying to do. You know, that's what you should be trying to do, wrestlers. You should be working on your craft to make yourself better so that people will want to come see you, that spend their money, so the promoter will sell more tickets, and he'll sell more tickets because of you, and you will move up the card and make it to the main event. That's what everybody is shooting for, is trying to get to the top. So you try to minimize some really bad choices. That's just my advice. All right, some of the other things we're going to discuss here, and I want to bring up, is once again, there seems to be a problem. I've had a few people send me emails and ask me about the last vlog we did on why I suggested people not to try to do the best they can do. I did not do that. Please understand. What I said was, you do the best you can under what the booker asked you to do. You should. I was talking about doing 20 finish moves in the second match of the night. You know, that's what I meant. Always do your best. Listen to your booker, your road agent, the guy that's giving you directions. If there's nobody there to do that, go find the promoter. If he doesn't know, then you go find a veteran and sit down and talk. Do give 110% everything you got when you go out there. So let's move on from that. I won't bring that up again. So that's just a little advice. I wanted to go over the thing, my opinion on CM Punk and the altercation with the fan. I wanted to talk a little bit about younger guys trying to be conscious of the choices you make, especially in front of the camera or in the back in the dressing room where people can see what you do. Make responsible choices. It is so important to your career. You can ignore me, or I would advise you listen and take it and try to have a career you can be proud of. One thing I noticed at a show that I went to, and I'll say this and then we're out of here, was I saw a tag team come out, and one of the guys in the two people in a tag team jumped on the microphone and started a cheer for himself. And I kind of questioned, and I said, why isn't he having a cheer started for the tag team he's on? And that confused me, you know. And I got a question I'll put out. Is that what should happen? Or if you're on a tag team and you're working together and your build is this tag team and you're going against another tag team, what do you think your partner thinks about that? What do you think some of the fans think about that? What do you think the other tag team thinks about that, and the wrestlers in the back? It's back to choices. You have to make good choices in wrestling and life. So this is the Wrestling Doctor from Pro Wrestling Extra. I'm going to sign off, so thank you.